Hi everybody, welcome to Shell Lectures. So today we will be dealing with NCERT Class 11 Physics, Chapter number 2, Units and Measurements. Already some videos have been put regarding that lesson in my YouTube channel, you can refer to that. So today we are going to discuss about rounding off. So as I told you in the earlier video, for example, if we have a number like 3.56, these two numbers are going to be certain because they are very sure and they are not going to change no matter how many times you make the experiment. For example, if you are doing it for 5 or 6 times, it doesn't matter, these two numbers, these two digits won't be changing. Whereas this is an uncertain digit, because it will continuously be changing. One time it will be 3.56 and the next time 3.57, 3.58. So this uncertain digit has to be rounded off. This uncertain digit has to be rounded off, and that's what we are going to do today. Okay, so if we take two examples, 3.54, 3.57, 543, 577 and 3.575. Okay, so which is the uncertain digit here? 3 is the uncertain digit, 7 is the uncertain digit, 5 is the uncertain digit. So only uncertain digits can be rounded off. So let's check this. How can we round off this? Is this number less than 5? This number is less than 5 and this number is greater than 5 and this number is 5. Am I right? So this number is less than 5. So the rule is that the preceding number, okay, the preceding number, if it's less than 5, then if this number, that is the last number, if it's less than 5, then you can just leave it off and make it as 54. That's it. No change will be there in the preceding number. Okay, so the number, the uncertain digit which has to be rounded off is less than 5, then its preceding digit will stay as it is. Okay, it's not going to undergo any change. Whereas here, this is the digit and it's greater than 5. So its preceding digit we have to add plus 1. So this becomes 3.58. Okay, only because the digit which I wrote here was greater than 5. So the preceding digit has to be given a 1. And here 3.575. Here the digit is itself 5. It's neither greater than 5 nor less than 5. So what we have to do is we have to check the previous number. If it's an odd number, definitely you have to add 1. But if it is an even number like this, 3.565, so the last number has to be omitted. So if you omit that, then the previous digit you have to see, that is 5. So it's neither less than 5 or greater than 5. So the thing is, if it's odd, then you have to add 1, and if it is even, you can leave it as it is. So this number is even, so you leave it as it is, so the answer will be 3.56. Okay, so if the last digit which is uncertain and which has to be rounded off is greater than 5, then the preceding digit we have to add 1, or if it's less than 5, then the preceding digit will stay as it is, or if it's equal to 5 and the preceding digit is odd, we have to add 1 to the preceding digit, and if the preceding digit is even, then we can leave it as it is. Okay, so these are the general rules for rounding off. And then also we have the speed of light. What's the value for speed of light? We have 2.9987 something into 10 power 8 meter per second. So this we have rounded off into 3 into 10 to the power 8 meter per second to make our calculations easier. Okay, also the value of pi, it will not be surely 3.14, it will be 3.1478 and go on. So we are just omitting this part only to make our calculation easier. That is, we are rounding off. Okay, we are rounding off this factor and many other factors just to make our calculations pretty easier. So if you want to substitute a number known as 2.99876 into 10 power 8, is it easier, or 3 into 10 power 8 is easier? Of course this is easier. That's why we round off digits to make our calculations easier. Okay, so now we have to learn some basic rules in rounding off. So if I take a length of a rectangular sheet, okay, so if I take the length of a rectangular sheet, and this is the breadth, so if I take the length of a rectangular sheet to be 1.62 centimeters, plus or minus 0.6%. That is, this much amount of percentage error is there. And B is equal to 10.1 centimeter plus or minus 1%. That is, the error is 1% here. So these two are the length and width values. Now I am going to calculate LB. So how do you do that? The formula which we use for combination of errors. I am combining two errors. So what do? I use that formula. I guess all of you remember that. That is, delta Z by Z is equal to delta A by A plus delta B by B. So in that regard, if you do this, you will be getting an answer around 163.62 centimeter square plus or minus 1.6%. Okay, so we will be getting an answer like this. Okay, I told you that the errors will always get added. That's why it's 1.6%. Now, how do we round off this? So 1.6% is nothing but 1.6% of this number into 100. Am I right? So 1.6% error of this number is equal to 1.6 divided by this number into 100. So the value is 163.62 centimeters square plus or minus the value given is 2.6 centimeters square. So 16% of this is 2.6 centimeters square. So this can be rounded off. The error here can be rounded off as, how can we round it off? The last digit is the uncertain one, it's greater than 5, so we have to add 1 here. So the error will be plus or minus 3. Okay, so the error will be plus or minus 3. So this is how we can estimate errors in the final answers, by rounding off. Okay. Now the next one is what we have already seen, but still we have to go through that. That is 12.06, let me have, and then 5.7. How do I do this? I am going to subtract. So it will be 6, it will be 3, 12, 7, right? Okay, so this is the answer, and then I told you that when two values are subtracted, always you must keep one thing in mind, that is decimal place. For addition and subtraction, you must keep decimal place in mind, and for multiplication and division, you must keep significant figures in mind. So here, as it's subtraction, we must keep the decimal place in mind, and we have to write the answer in the least decimal place. So here there is 2 decimal places, and here there is only 1. So you have to round off your answer. And how do you do that? Here the uncertain digit is 6, so it's greater than 5, so I will be writing it as 7.4. Okay, so you must always keep that in mind. You can't always have it as 7 point, even if it is 7.34, you can't leave it as it is, because we have another one rule which tells us to estimate the answer to 1 decimal place. So as this is less than 5, you can just erase it and leave the answer as 7.3. Okay, so this is the second rule which we must know. And then what's the third rule? So the relative error. So we have already learned about this relative error, that is delta Z by Z is equal to, that is relative error, and if into 100% is added up, it's percentage error. So in relative error, it does not only depend upon the number of significant figures, but it also depends upon the number. What do they mean by this line? So relative error, whenever you find the relative error for a particular quantity, it does not only depend upon the number of significant figures in the quantity, but will also depend upon the number, nature of the number. For example, let us take two numbers like 1.02 and 9.89. And we are going to find the relative errors in both of these quantities. Okay, so here the accuracy is 0.01 gram, and here the accuracy is 0.01 gram again. Okay, so now if you find the value, this is the error, am I right? So if you put it like delta A by A into 100, okay, I am finding percentage error now. So it will be 0.01 divided by 1.02 into 100, right? And this is 0.01 divided by 9.89 into 100. So what are we going to find? We are going to find the percentage error. And now tell me how many significant figures are there? Here 1, 2, 3. 3 significant figures. Here also 1, 2, 3. So the number of significant figures are the same. Right? The number of significant figures are the same. So hopefully we will also expect the same result in the percentage error. Am I right? But unfortunately the answers are, for 1.02 it is 1%, and for this it is 0.1%. So can you find some kind of difference in both of them? This is 1 and this is 0.1, though both of them have 3 significant figures. So we can easily come to know that the relative error does not only depend upon the number of significant figures, but it also depends upon the nature of number. So these two numbers have different natures which have yielded them different percentage errors. Okay. Now the next very important thing is the intermediate steps. Intermediate steps. So what is special about this intermediate steps? Now let me take a number known as 9.58. Okay, I have taken an example that is 9.58. That's a measurement which I have taken, and I am going to calculate the reciprocal of 9.58 now. So reciprocal, as you know very well, that is inverse of the number 1 by 9.58, and the answer which I get is, if you are rounding off to the same number of significant figures, as I told you, whenever you are doing multiplication and division, you must round off the answer to the same number of significant figures. So the answer here will be 0.104. Okay, if you are rounding off to the same number of significant figures, here also it's 3, here also it's 3. So it's 0.104. Again, if you are going to calculate the reciprocal of this number, what is the answer you should expect? If you are calculating reciprocal of 0.104, obviously any person would expect this answer. Am I right? Because reciprocal of this gave this, so reciprocal of that will give us back that. Am I right? But the answer turns out to be 9.62. So what is the thing which we have done here? Actually, this answer was not actually 0.104. Actually, we rounded off that to 0.104. It will be 0.1044. So what they are coming to say is that whenever a complex computation like this comes into account, you must always add one more extra digit, not minding about the number of significant figures and not minding about the significant figures rule. You must add one more digit, so that if you are finding the reciprocal of this, then you will obviously get 9.58 back. Okay, so what they are telling us, when you are doing a complex calculation, the intermediate steps, you can add one more digit, forgetting about the significant numbers rule. Only then you will be getting the correct answers, or else you will round up with errors. Okay, let me read that line alone for you, because that has to be read, or else it won't enter our mind. That is, intermediate results in a multi-step computation. So this is a multi-step computation and this is an intermediate result. Should be calculated to one more significant figure in every measurement. That is, here only 3 is supposed to be there, because here 3, so there also 3 must be there. But I have added 1 and I have made it as 4. So it should be one more significant figure in every measurement than the number of digits in the least precise measurement. Okay, so this is what is the fourth thing. So whenever you are doing multi-step problems or multi-step computations like this, you must always remember that in an intermediate result, you must add one more digit, one more significant digit. Okay, only then you will be getting proper answers. So this is all for today. So this is all about rounding off numbers, and I hope you would have understood it better. So subscribe to my channel, like and share my videos to whomever you know. Thank you.